Welcome back to another video. So I received the following comment. So how can we smooth different joint sections or surface into one smooth surface without any joint? So over here, I think that the question is regarding those tangencies between the surfaces. So those are, let's say, those joints. And let's take a look at that. As I said over here within the reply, you need to pay attention to tangencies and support faces, and I will make a video regarding this. So this is a video, let's get started over here. I have various sketches over here that I use for the multi-section video. And if, for example, if I will just define the multi-section from this profile to the following one, if I'm going to hit preview, over here that curvature will be well defined between those two profiles, as we have this set. But if I will go and create a new one, a new multi-section, starting from the following profile all the way to the next one, we're gonna see that over here that will no longer have the tangency. If I'm gonna hide that sketch, we're gonna see how that profile will be defined all the way up to that sketch. So in order to do some changes over here, we can use the healing, but the healing will not change the surface. If I'm going to use the healing over here, since these are now two multi-sections, I can select both of these over here. So we have multi-section surface 1 and 2. And if I will go hit preview, it will look like this. But now regarding that sharpness, we're going to see that the tangency, we can also change the continuity over here to be tangent. If I'm going to hit preview and if I will hit OK, this will be the result. So I can go and change the tangency objective, let's say to 15, but in this case we're going to see that this will be out of range. So maximum CATIA will allow us to go equal to 2 degrees over here. That is for the objective. And in this case, if I'm going to click OK, we're going to see that the healing will not be able to fix the tangency over here. So I will delete that for now. We can also go ahead and use, for example, join over here. And join will highlight the fact that we don't have tangency well defined over here. So if I will join those two sections, I have the possibility to go for check tangencies. And if I'm going to hit preview, we're going to see that we're going to have the following update. The result is not continuous in tangency. Please modify the specification of the operation. Over here within the operation, as we can see, we have a merging distance. But in this case, if I'm going to try to go with, for example, 0.1, you're going to see that the tangency will not be fixed. We can also specify an angular threshold, for example, with 2 degrees. But in this case, we're going to have also a topological error for the output. So basically, as far as I know, you cannot really change those surfaces if you don't have tangencies. It is always recommended to create them with tangencies. So if I will just delete those two, and if I will create a new multi-section, if I will go ahead and select all the profiles, and I'm going to click OK, we're going to see that that tangency will be added. So in this case, I didn't select the same profile because this one has been hidden. So I will just have that restored. And let me just redo this. So now, since all of those are selected within the same multi-surface, we're going to have that continuity set to tangent over here. And that means that this will be the output. If I will go over here with tangency check, we're going to see that we're no longer going to have that problem. Now, in most cases, you don't really have the possibility to create that multi-section surface within a single command. So this is why it's important to use surface supports. So let's say that I will go ahead and recreate this as the first one. And afterwards, I will create the second multi-section. But the difference will be that I'm going to select this profile over here. And over here within the supports, I'm going to go ahead and select the multi-surface. And that will be added over here. So if I'm going to expand this, we're gonna see that the support will be multisection 4 and the continuity will be set to tangent. We can change it over here as well. And the following profile will be this one, and if I'm gonna hit preview, we're gonna see that in this case the profile will look like this. So we have the computed spine, we have some deformations over here. We can also change over here the support. For example, I want the support to be all the way over here. If I'm gonna hit a preview, it will look like this. We're still gonna have that bulge added over here. So I can also go ahead and add a support over here as a plane, and we're gonna see how that will change. If I'm gonna go ahead and create a new, so I don't want this to be offset from plane, I want this to be angled over here. So I can create this at 3 points. I think that will be tangent to surface. Within that section, I will also create a point, and we're gonna see that new plane added over here. So this will be on curve, and this will be that plane that will be tangent to surface. If I will go and define that multi-section again, if I will use this support, we're gonna see that now that deformation will be different. This is inclined over here, so I need to define one plane that will be right over here where we have that defined. So for that sketch, I will create a plane that will be through 3 points because that is the best solution in this case. I want 1 point to be over here, right in the middle. So let me just redo that because this changed normal to curve, and I want this to be 3 points, and I want to create a point on this curve. So the first one will be over there, the second one will be over here, and I'm just gonna drag 3 points onto this, and we're gonna see that the plane will look like this. So this is the orientation of the within the preview. But if I will go ahead and recreate that multi-section, and I will add the support to be onto that plane, we're gonna see that now this will look different over here. So I'm gonna click OK, and if I will go ahead and hide that, we're gonna see that the tangency will still not be loaded over here, as we can see, and not defined. So we're still gonna have that tangency error, even with that support in this case. This is why it's usually a good idea to define those supports directly on the surface. So if I'm gonna unhide that plane, since we cannot add multiple supports, for example, for this profile, I cannot add the support to be that surface and this plane as well over here. As we can see over here, I can go with add, but I cannot no longer select an additional section over there. I can select the second one, but still we're going to have that bulge added over here. So keep in mind that over here for the support we can do a replacement, but that will replace also the section in this case. And for the support I can no longer change that. I can go ahead and replace that with a plane, but now we're going to have that continuity problem over here. So just like I showed you previously, if I'm going to hide this, we're no longer going to have that tangency added. So this is why it's important to smoothen out the surface while you are designing them, because we have the possibility to smoothen curves, but we can't do that with surfaces. For example, if I will go ahead and create, let's say, a spline over here, this will be the spline. I have the possibility to go and use the curve smooth onto this, but overall you're going to see that the profile will not be that changed. So we see that we have a warning that there is no discontinuity to smooth, and the curvature of the wire can still be improved by smoothing. So if I will, with the default threshold of 0.5 degrees, if I'm going to hit preview, we're going to see that this will indicate this deviation. So we see over here 6.8 times 10 at minus 4. So this will be 0.00068 millimeters. We can also change the continuity, but again, this will not be that smoothened out. We have the possibility to smoothen curves, but not within generative shape design. If I'm gonna jump over here to imagine a shape, we have a special curve over here, which will be sketch curve. And we can sketch this within the viewport like this. And after I have it sketched, I have the possibility to go ahead and smooth this out. So if I will go on smoothing, for example, over here, I will just drag the mouse and we're going to see how that will smoothen out. So we see the curvature will change. We can just do various selections onto that. And we have over here the difference. So this will be entitled curve smooth, this one, because I already processed it within generative shape design from the original sketch. And this will be a styling curve. And if I will go back to generative shape design, I have the possibility to use curve smooth onto this. But again, we're going to see that the output will not be that different in this case. We can also change the continuity conditions over here for those extremities over here. So for the start, and we're going to see that the curve will slightly be, let's say, smoothened out, but again, it will not be that visible in this case. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this kind of content. It would be nice in order to define those surfaces directly without any tangency problems, but usually in most cases you will end up with sections like this that you will later gonna have to do some edge filleting in order to have those tangencies enabled. I also have a separate video regarding support faces as tangencies for that Panton Chair Design, so let me jump and search for that video to show you. Okay, so this will be the video regarding the Panton chair. I also added the model on GrabCAD. And if you're gonna jump over here, we're gonna see how those filling will be done over here. So we're gonna use fill surfaces and we're gonna use those supports over here. And this will make sure that the output will not have those, let's say, those joints. Therefore, if you want to, I highly encourage you to give this video a check, and we're gonna see that the output of this chair will have those curvature, because within the filling, we added those support surfaces. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. I will position a similar video onto the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. If you enjoy this kind of content, you can consider to support me. You can find the link in the description at Buy Me at Coffee. So that's it. Thanks for watching.